kind of be like the theme because if there's a story, then at that time, it's like going through hurt. So it's like you kind of doing this, kind of doing that, and then now the angle is doing less of what's not good. Yeah,
So
it's fun, but
okay, so kind of getting to it to kind of start off, and then I want to get into that as well too. So, can you tell me your name or what do you go by?
For right now, just call me Mr. J. For now. Yeah. Because can we keep that anonymity? Yeah.
You're all good.
Okay.
That's what I was saying though. Your name or what you go by, so you're all good for sure. Now, you said you were getting away from the cross-dressing and stuff like that, or do you mind kind of going to that?
Yeah. So, like I started, during the pandemic. It's kind of like the idea was if everyone's going already crazy berserk through these like weird laws where they told us they're going to keep us inside for 15 days to slow the spread, right? And after that, we were still inside, and so it just kind of felt like it was my excuse to like kind of like go towards my like inner psyche, like ideas, like what am I fascinated about, and just like honestly, it was a lot of pain, because it's like I remember before the pandemic, I had like okay, like I'm trying to ask girls out, blah blah, and for some reason it's not really hitting, and I'm like I'm not sure why, and so then the idea became to like, okay, what if I just kind of like dress as one, so because maybe I could, and then I grew my hair, and it kind of looked pretty. I liked the feeling of it. So that's when I started. I didn't even, because most people like cross-dress when they're younger.
When you're younger, actually, that's why I kind of just want to start from here. Go ahead.
Okay. And actually, I guess you could start with the diaper fetish. That one started when I was like 5, I remember. And it seems to be a common occurrence, right? And it's called the ABDL, so Adult Baby Diaper Lover. Yeah, so obviously there's no like, it's only adults. So that's the, I guess why they put the adult in the fetish, right? Because it only has to do with adults, and when even though one can have it when they're not an adult, like I even met someone else when I was in the age of 5, I remember just wanting to like try out my younger brother's diapers, right? And so I was 5, I think, and my younger brother was maybe 3 or 2, right? And I got him, and then my mom caught me, and she's all like, "Hey, like, what are you doing? What are you hiding?" And I was crying and crying, so because I didn't want to show her what I was, because I knew it was wrong, right? But it was just something that I wanted to do. And then after that, I'm sure she, eventually found out, and but I forgot anything else after that, after the whole crying scene, and since I was 5, and I even discussed this last time where. Was there any trauma for me? I don't think so. Like, I'm really trying to identify what specific trauma that I had, or because most people that have ABDL, they think it's not trauma based. It's just a weird fetish sexual desire. I think I'm trying to read like Carl Jung, right? There's like the anima and the animus. So I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's just people have it. It's a not popular in the mainstream, but I guess in a sense people recognize that it is a fetish.
Sorry.
I guess in your questions or
no, keep going. That's fine.
Okay. So the diaper fetish started when I was 5, and it wasn't until I was 14 that I could drive, so then I could go to the store and get some, right? And so I went to the store and got the good nights. They actually do fit, and then I got that, and and I remember enjoying it. And that was the first time I actually, since I tried it that one time, that I was able to experience that, just wanting to feel because it's really comfy. It's really the texture and the sound and the smells. Just there's something about it that is really exciting. And it wasn't until later that, maybe it was 14, 15, that I found out there are other people just like me. So it turns out, with the whole internet, and, it turns out there were many other websites that came and gone, but, in one website, I could communicate with other fellow ABDLs. Now the main one is FetLife. That one's the main FetLife. But recently I deleted my FetLife, and that's I think something people do all the time, right? Or so you seen I guess FetLife, right?
Yeah, probably about it too as well. But
yeah, and so yeah, just wanting to get away, and for that one, you can meet other people. It's really nice, and so that's where the diaper fetish kind of goes in, and then for the cross-dressing, it's funny because if you look at other people, they kind of have like it kind of goes hand in hand, right? And so for other people that are not familiar with fetishes, it's called like sissification. This desire, to be the opposite sex, because there's something about it, right? There's some kind of rush and of looking the opposite, because it's kind of like maybe that's what you desire and you're being that thing that you desire, which is the female part, right? So yeah, so a lot of people have these same fetishes hand in hand. Yeah.
And then so for you said the cross-dressing started a lot later in life, so it had nothing to associate with anything type of like trans or any type of attraction for other males, or
no, it was never gay. Yeah, and so that's why it's kind of a funny situation, right? So it was never gay. I don't have attraction to males, but it's like, but I'd rather have like the whole situation be dressed as a female, communicating to other females. Yeah. So.
And then so. Do you mind me asking, like, do your family know about the cross-dressing or the...
to an extent, but that's only because I kind of outed myself. But in ways where, like, like the stories, right? You just, okay, it's a quick blip and then it's gone. So in a sense, yeah, but I stopped. And, yeah, like, I stopped doing it publicly since, like, 2022, 2023, kind of around there.
And is that just based on just how other people felt about it, or...
The pain was gone.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I found someone that's and it's funny because she met me because I played at church, right? I played the piano, and then at that time I was the leader of the choir, and so she met me and she saw like just the painted nails, right? And so I think it's funny that it was my way of like expressing some pain that I had, the pain. Okay, hey, like why. Some females are not calling back, texting, right? Because I got the numbers, right? I got the numbers, but they just kind of like ghosted me, right? And but this, this one, she wanted to come over and work on some music for the church, and then eventually, I kind of like, what do you call it? Shoot your shot, and then I kind of just kissed her, and then yeah. So in a sense, like that, like kind of like this is just what I wanted, right? Yeah. So. But the thing is, like, I was still doing it when I was with her, the whole cross-dressing thing. But slowly, I kind of stopped, yeah.
And are you guys still together?
We break up and split up a lot of times. And so right now, we're in, like, what was the longest breakup phase. And now just trying to reconcile, yeah.
So you did say there was no, essentially, like, no sexual aspect to the diaper fetish or anything like that.
Yeah, I guess you are comfortable with, because I feel, as long as, I guess you're comfortable, right? Okay, so I guess we could kind of go explicit. Yeah, it can be both ways. It can be where it is sexual, and also where it's not sexual. It's just like a really, really comforting thing to do. Yeah, so it can be both, and I've seen it with like other females. I think it's less sexual and more of a comfort thing. But with guys, it can be more sexual, to the point where we can do many things with it. Yeah. Personally, like even jacking off in a diaper. Yeah, that's kind of like one of the main ultimate, feelings when you're in a diaper. And yeah.
Well, and I was gonna ask, like, what's like the arouse of it, essentially? Like, is it just being able to do it in secret, or can you kind of go into that, if you don't mind me? Let me ask
Could you repeat the question? Yeah.
like what what gives you the arouse of wearing a diaper and being able to ejaculate inside of a diaper? Like what is it?
I guess yeah. The most recent kind of thing was like I had bought these diapers that were called crinkles, and they just look really cute. Like I have a deep fascination with things that are cute. You know, does that make sense? Yeah, but of course, like in the adult sense, and that's why there's always this distinction that there's only adults. You know, because one could assume to believe, okay, oh, so then it goes to the area of the P word, right? Yeah, and so there's always that. You know, it's always adults only, and yeah, so there is like that ultimate kind of very cute aspect. It's kind of a headspace where you're just you know you're just stuck in that feeling of just wow, it's I don't know, you kind of have to be there, but I'm trying my best to describe that feeling. Yeah, so it just looks really, really cute. You know, it's really comfy, it's really warm. Yeah, so that's yeah.
Now, would there be like times where you would, and if at any time you don't want to answer these questions,
Okay, yeah, so
it's okay.
Yeah.
Is there any times where you would like use the restroom inside the diaper and stuff like that?
Yeah. You know, number one, number two, yeah. Number two is a lot of a cleanup, but for number one, they think those things could hold a lot, so it's really funny. Yeah, so especially, and what's funny is that the adults, the ABDL diapers, and there's people with incontinence. So the funny thing is that the actual medical diapers were like low quality, right? So they degraded in quality. They were not good, and it was actually the ABDL company's diapers that kind of pushed them to be more quality, because it's like, okay, there's all these people with incontinence, and they just seem they seem really cheap in terms of the quality. And so this is kind of the thing that kind of brought the quality back into even the medical side of the diapers. Yeah.
Sorry. And then at times, how often did you wear the diaper and stuff like that?
A fun thing to do is like kind of to do every day. What I used to do is like wear it as long as I can. When I was in the university, I would wear it at school, and just anywhere that you possibly can. And then you go through these periods where like, oh, you kind of feel guilty about doing all these things, so you just like throw everything away, and so that's why it gets expensive. So because they're not cheap, and there's all these products you could buy like pacifiers and onesies. My favorite thing was the onesie, because for like I could fit into the girls onesie and the boys onesie, the ones that are XL, and Target.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's what because I'm not that tall, so I could fit into these things. Yeah.
And then I feel like you kind of went over this, and once again, I'm kind of all over the place with my questions just based on how I had them lined up.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going back into my questions. Sure. So about the cross-dressing as well too, were you doing that on a regular, or was that more of a private type thing?
There was a point where I was doing it like a lot regularly, and just kind of like maybe at night just going out in places where like maybe like at a gay bar, because they're kind of accepting of these kinds of things. So just doing that, but not really trying to like put myself in a position where it's like to the top. And I guess sometimes where I think I nailed the look, just gonna be more risky with that. Yeah, but that's something that that I don't do anymore. So because of like what I thought, I'm like it was fun, but I think that's something that should be left in the past.
And then you said that you were going through some sort of pain at the time that was kind of pushing you towards that. Do you mind kind of going into that?
Yeah. So I think I've thought about it. It's like, so there's this So in your mind, there is this idea of the anima for a guy, and for a female, there's the animus. And so what that means is like your overall as a guy, your overall experience with every female that you ever had, and so you have this kind of ideal view of the perfect woman in a sense, right? And if that ideal is judging you, then you're not going to have a good relationship with any females that you meet. So this is from Carl Jung. And so I feel like that is my issue, that I just had this issue, and I'm not sure why, but there is this issue with the female ideal that I just can't resolute. And this is something that I'm trying to resolve right now, because it's like, if you don't have a good relationship with the opposite sex, then it's going to be very complicated, because you have to deal with the opposite sex a lot. Yeah.
Have you ever found any partners that were into this, or kind of engaged into the fetish?
Yeah. So I remember the first time there was this girl, and she, I found her online, and then we kind of just hang out, and we did the diaper stuff. I took her out, and there was a big Ferris wheel that I took her to, and then after I got a hotel, we were doing just like changing each other's diaper, just kind of I could go into details, but it's up to you.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have sex, so I guess I mean, for me, like it doesn't have to be about sex, but yeah, like she would change her, I would change her diaper, she would change mine, and just like kind of like cuddle and all that, and so that's what we did that one time. And I remember this one time I got this prostitute, because I guess during the time you could like kind of get one, and I got like 2 prostitutes to get into the fetish. So I would either put her in a diaper and have her do it to me as well. So that's something that I did do with 2 prostitutes. And then I remember this one time, she was agreeing, but then when I put her in the diaper, then she started to cry, and it was just like, so I don't know, it was so weird. So people have different reactions to it. One of them, she was black and Puerto Rican, and I said, "How does it feel?" She said, "It feels soft." And okay, so I guess everyone so eventually they kind of do get into it, but I think in the long run, it's me that's gonna appreciate it more. So yeah, like and even my exes, they were into it to the degree that I asked them to. So it's not like they were like they wanted to do it, but well, I guess there was this one time where one of my exes, we were together, and I told her, and it's funny because that's how we ended up being together. Like I kind of just called her and just kind of, told her all these things, and then she eventually changed my diaper, and then she gave me a BJ. So it was kind of weird, and I'm like, what? Like why is this working and not other things? Like I'm trying to be a respectful guy, but it's the weird stuff. Like I guess like kind of like makes them connect or something. Like it's like I'm being rewarded for the bad things that I'm doing. So like it's like the only time I was ever in a relationship was because I kind of like just had, either they knew by the painted nails, or like I just kind of told them, hey, like I'm into this kinds of stuff, So so I kind of just took advantage of that, So,
oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, I keep cutting you off. I was ask, did that make it hard for you down the line? The fact that, like you said, you were being rewarded for the bad things, so you kind of like, okay, I can do this and kind of get away with it. So
yeah. So it's not and when you're young, right now, I'm in my early 30s, so I guess when you're 27, that's when you really hit your peak in terms of like just being all as wild as you can be, So I guess I was in that age range during that time, and I felt like I could get away with a lot of things in terms of like even people's perception, And during that time, what was happening during the COVID time was also. Do you remember femboys? You know what a femboy is? No. So it's like a guy that's like dressing feminine, and eventually to the point where it could be like to the point where it's called a trap, where the trap is, oh, she looks female but actually is not female. That's the point. To call it, oh, that's a trap, right? So I remember that, and this was during the COVID thing, and on top of me just getting away with all these things, but the diaper stuff was always private. Yeah, so like the diaper stuff, like or just really really close people, that I trusted.
Not
That,
like out in the public or anything like that.
yeah. And so, but now it's like, I wouldn't tell anyone, even though I'm telling you right now. Like I'm trying to keep it. That's why it has to be anonymous, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think, just thinking about all the things that I've done. It's like, yeah, like maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should kind of lay off. Maybe we should kind of be more righteous. Yeah.
Do you feel like if you weren't anonymous, it could just essentially follow you in the future and kind of like affect maybe wives, relationships, and stuff like that?
Like if I wasn't anonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it can, but like I said, like some people already knew that. But I do like a lot of art stuff, so like I guess in my sense that's kind of like, he's just being doing art.